My name is Dave Shanks. I live in Marble Hill, Missouri, which is about 25 miles west of Cape Girardeau.
What's this truck?
This truck is a 1987 white WI42.
How long have you had it?
About 4 years.
Was it somewhere nearby?
About 100 miles away, Marion, Illinois.
Did you drive it home?
I tried.
That's a reassuring way to put it.
Just before I got to Cape Girardeau, this tire blew out and tore off the whole side of this hood. I had to go back home, get a spare tire, and put on this thing so I can make it home with it.
Have you ever experienced something like that before?
That was like a bomb going off under the hood. I mean, it was stuff flying everywhere, rubber and fiberglass, and smoke and dust.
Tears?
No, it wasn't tears. I was cussing.
Okay. Well, what is under the hood?
It has an L10 Cummins, 9-speed forward transmission, and I believe it's a Rockwell rear end in it.
Were you looking for one of these?
Yes, I was looking for something in this general type of truck, a shorter wheelbase conventional with a single axle and something that is equipped very well. This was designed to pull carnival rides. It was sold new in Belleville, Illinois, and company called Little Egypt Carnival Company bought it brand new, and all it did was haul carnival rides. So I figured it did not have a hard life hauling heavy loads, pounding up down roads. Mm-hmm. Although it did have a lot of rookie drivers in it, I'm sure.
And this was the sign for the company here, right? Which yes. The better the light gets, the better you can see it.
You can see the little pyramid here for Little Egypt, and they had the name around it there.
So if it didn't have a very hard life, how many miles are on it?
1 million.
Which does sound like a lot for a truck that...
But in a car language, that's like having 100,000 miles on a car.
That's true. It's very short, but it has air ride.
Yes.
Right?
Full air ride, cab, rear end, and seats.
And when you pull your camper with it, which was the point in the first place, it probably rides pretty darn good.
Yes, it's very smooth. Running down a good interstate, you can set your soda on top of the dash, and it'll sit right there and won't come off.
How about these wheels?
Those are international wheels. I didn't like the looks of the Volvo wheels, so I got these. I thought they looked a little more retro and styling. Mm-hmm. I've worked at Salvage Yard, Larry Smith in Perryville, and we rummaged through the wheel pile, and I come up with a set of them, had them polished up, and I think they look pretty good on this truck.
They look nice. And that's a battery box, right?
Yes.
It looks pretty big. I don't know.
There's 4 batteries in there.
Mm-hmm. Earlier I commented on the fairings here, and you pointed out that it had one on top also.
Yes, it had a roof fairing on it. And somebody took a saw and sawed it off, so eventually I'll take all those brackets off, clean it up.
That would have made a little truck look really big.
Yes. My next project, I've got a sun visor. I'm going to put a sun visor on it. People accuse it of being an old overnight truck. I said, no, it never was for overnight.
Okay.
So I'm going to change it around so there's no suspect when they see it an overnight truck.
But it also, if we hide the hood, it looks like the same era cab overs.
Right, right. From the base of the windshield back is the same thing as the cab over. And that's not the first time truck companies have done that either.
So let's take a look inside. Whoop, I'm going to let you open that. Have to have the professional. We said cab overs. It has a tiny bit of a doghouse because, again, that's just a little tiny hood.
Yes, the engine set back a little bit.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's the original interior, except for the seats.
Except for the seats.
These are probably much cozier than whatever was in it originally.
Yes.
If this was a cab over, I wouldn't have been able to climb up here while holding the phone.
You're right about that.
It's a little bit different dash setup than a lot of the trucks that people on my channel would normally see. No, it's not a Mac inside, just a Mac horn button.
Now, Mac and White used the same steering wheel. All I could find was a Mac horn button.
A tachograph that's totally different from tachograph in my truck. Is it just a different brand, probably?
Just different brand.
Okay. But that is a tachograph. I feel like that could be converted into a CD player somehow.
It's not the right size.
Yeah. This is a pretty nice dash layout.
Everything's within reach.
You said it has working air conditioning. Where are the other vents?
Well, right above the CB microphone.
Aha.
And then there's one around the dash for the passenger. And then there's some in the sleeper.
I see. Does it work back in the sleeper too?
Yeah, there's 2 of them in the sleeper.
Very nice. And it's a very spacious sleeper. If you haul a camper, I assume you don't really ever use the sleeper.
That's where the dogs ride.
Aha.
That's why the moving blanket.
And seatbelts to keep people from flying out of the sleeper if you're teen driving.
Right.
The ceiling is in incredible shape. It looks really, really nice.
I'm working on it.
When people talk about having old trucks, they struggle to find parts sometimes. Have you struggled at all?
Actually, parts for this truck are pretty easy to come by used.
Mm-hmm.
New, we're talking different thing. You know, I worked at a truck salvage yard. He has over 1,000 trucks in the yard, so there's parts.
Where did the hood come from? Was that tough to find?
No, I took that off an MFA feed truck there in the yard. I backed my 1-ton truck up to it. Took about 10 minutes to get it off the truck. Tied it down, we were gone with it. That was probably the easiest thing I ever done to this truck, was change the hoods out.
But it wears its battle scar of a slightly bent bumper.
Yes, yes.